Mental Health Awareness at Work, Part 1. Good day, everyone. Welcome back to The Mind Explained. It's great to meet again. In this video, we'll be breaking down the nuances of mental health in the professional space. But first, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Also, this is the first video of the Mental Health Awareness Work series, so watch out for Part 2 and 3. Now, let's get into it. But before we get too deep, what is mental health? Mental health is defined as a state of well-being in which each individual realizes their full potential, is able to cope with daily challenges, is able to work creatively and productively, and contributes to their community or workplace. Many people's lives revolve around their work. It is where we spend the majority of our time, where we work, and where we frequently meet new people. It might be advantageous to your mental health and overall well-being to work in a job that you enjoy. Life gets the best of us at times, and sometimes it's work-related, such as deadlines or travel. It's not always about our health, relationships, or circumstances. We must safeguard that value by addressing mental health at work for individuals who already have problems, those who are at risk, and the entire workforce. Working in a hazardous environment can be harmful to our mental health. We believe in fostering situations that allow everyone to thrive. We also believe that employers, employees, and businesses play an important role in promoting vibrant communities. Workplace mental health and management are inextricably linked, and there is solid evidence that organizations with good mental well-being are more productive. Taking care of one's personal health at work can increase productivity by as much as 12%. Following this series on mental health awareness at work, you should recognize the meaning of mental health, have a plan in place for dealing with your own mental health at work, have a plan in place on how to help a coworker who is in distress, and have a plan for how you and others can collaborate to make your workplace a more psychologically healthy environment for everyone. Mental health relates to our ability to cope with ups and downs, as well as how we think and feel. We all need to look after our mental health and well-being. When we have good mental health, we have a sense of purpose and direction, as well as the energy to do the things we want to do and the ability to deal with the issues that life throws at us. There is a place for being active and a place for receiving proper help as soon as possible so that we can recover when it comes to our physical health. The same can be true about one's psychological well-being. If your mental health is good, you can utilize your abilities to the fullest extent possible. Deal with everything life throws your way. Participate fully in your relationships, workplace, and community. Your mental wellness isn't always consistent. It can alter as your circumstances change and as you progress through life stages. Distress is a term that refers to situations in which a person is unable to cope due to a variety of factors. Something at home, work-related stress, or the start of a mental health problem like depression could be the cause. When we are upset, we require a kind, human response. The sooner we detect anything is wrong, the sooner we may get assistance. What are mental health problems? We've all experienced times when we were sad, stressed, or afraid. Those feelings usually pass, but they can sometimes develop into mental health concerns like anxiety or depression, which can have a negative influence on our daily lives. Mental health difficulties can become complex for some people, necessitating lifelong support and counseling. Poverty, inheritance, childhood trauma, prejudice, or persistent physical illness all raise our risk of developing mental health problems, but mental health issues can strike anyone at any time. Different mental health conditions affect people in different ways, so it's essential to understand each person's perspective. Diagnosis is not the only way to understand a person's experience. Some people with schizophrenia, for example, lead relatively normal lives, whilst others with anxiety suffer significantly as a result of their illness. Types of mental health problems. Anxiety disorders. People with anxiety disorders experience fear and dread in response to certain things or circumstances, as well as physical indications of worry or panic, such as a racing heart and sweating. An anxiety disorder is diagnosed when a person's response is inappropriate for the scenario. They are unable to control their response or their anxiety interferes with their ability to operate normally. Generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, and particular phobias are all anxiety disorders. Mood disorders. These disorders, also known as affective disorders, are characterized by persistent feelings of sadness, periods of extreme happiness, or swings from extreme happiness to extreme sadness. Depression, bipolar disorder, and cyclothymic disorder are the most common mood disorders. Psychotic disorders. Psychotic disorders are characterized by altered consciousness and thought, hallucinations, the perception of unreal pictures or sounds such as hearing voices, and delusions, incorrect fixed beliefs that the ill person accepts as true, despite evidence to the contrary, are two of the most common symptoms of psychotic diseases. A psychotic disorder such as schizophrenia is an example. Eating disorders. Eating disorders involve extreme emotions, attitudes, and behaviors involving weight and food. Anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorders are the most common eating disorders. Personality disorders. Personality disorders are characterized by strong and rigid personality features that are distressing to the individual and/or cause issues at work, school, or in social relationships. Furthermore, the person's thought and behavior patterns are markedly different from societal standards and are so inflexible that they interfere with the person's regular functioning. Antisocial personality disorder, obsessive-compulsive personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, schizoid personality disorder, and paranoid personality disorder are all examples of personality disorders. Obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD. People who suffer from OCD are troubled by intrusive thoughts or concerns, which lead them to execute certain rituals or routines. Obsessions are the uncontrollable ideas, and compulsions are the rituals. A person with an irrational fear of germs who washes their hands all the time is an example. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, a traumatic and/or distressing experience, such as a sexual or physical attack, the untimely death of a loved one, or a natural disaster, can result in PTSD. People with PTSD are typically emotionally numb and have persistent and frightening thoughts and memories of the event. Risk factors. You may be more likely to have a mental health problem if you have one or more of the following factors. 1. A blood relative, such as a parent or brother, who has a history of mental health issues. 2. Financial difficulties, the death of a loved one, or a divorce, or all stressful life events. 3. Diabetes is an example of a long-term or chronic medical condition. 4. Traumatic brain injury, or TBI, occurs when the brain is damaged as a result of a catastrophic injury, such as a hard blow to the head. 5. Military conflict or assault, for example, are traumatic events. 6. Consumption of alcoholic beverages or recreational substances leading to abuse. 7. A history of abuse or neglect as a kid. 8. There aren't many friends, and there aren't many healthy connections. And 9. An earlier mental health issue. How to recognize mental health problems. If we face severe obstacles at home or at work, our mental health is likely to suffer as a result. There are numerous symptoms and indicators associated with mental health issues. If you're having trouble with any of the following feelings, you should get treatment from your therapist. Preventing you from going on with your life, having a significant impact on the people with whom you live or work, influencing your mood over several weeks, leading to suicidal thoughts. At work, we may notice that we are more wary than usual. We might make unusual mistakes, struggle to find inspiration, lose track of time, or become angry. We might look or feel tired or exhausted. We may isolate ourselves, avoid interacting with others, or appear inattentive. We can postpone even more or grind to a standstill. Alternatively, we may rush or become disorganized, interfering with other people's conversations and work, and taking on more work than we can handle. We may find it difficult to see these early warning signs in ourselves, so having colleagues who can help us draw the dots between this and our mental health could be advantageous. If the situation develops, you may notice more obvious signs of a mental health problem in a coworker, such as outbursts of anger or emotion, absences from work, or a failure to maintain their usual appearance. You may notice that they have been sleeping less and drinking more at night. Causes of mental health problems. Mental health problems in general are thought to be caused by a variety of genetic and environmental factors. Inherited traits. Mental illness is more common in people whose blood relatives also have a mental illness. Certain genes may increase your risk of developing a mental illness, and your life situation may trigger it. Environmental exposures before birth. Exposure to environmental stressors, inflammatory conditions, toxins, alcohol, or drugs while in the womb can sometimes be linked to mental illness. Brain chemistry. Neurotransmitters are naturally occurring brain chemicals that carry signals to other parts of your brain and body. When the neural networks involving these chemicals are impaired, the function of nerve receptors and nerve systems change, leading to depression and other emotional disorders. Why people don't talk about mental health. Although there is a growing awareness of mental health issues, we still live in a world where people with mental illnesses encounter discrimination and have difficulties accessing the help they need. Many people who are upset try to hide their feelings because they are worried about how others may react. Two of the most common reasons for not revealing mental health difficulties to coworkers are fear of discrimination and humiliation. It is simpler for people to speak honestly about mental health difficulties and seek treatment when they need it when we develop workplace cultures that allow people to be themselves. Nonetheless, disclosing work-related stress is not a decision to be made lightly. Workplaces must become environments where employees feel comfortable being themselves. Hey, you have made it to the end of this video. So what do you think about mental health awareness in the workplace? Which of our tips on looking after your mental health do you find most insightful? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Oh, and turn on post notifications. Now, if you will excuse me, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video in this series.